Yo, yo. You already know who this is. Bruh Migos Podcast. Back again. And you might be wondering why I'm whispering. But the reason that I'm whispering is because right now, there's been such an uproar in the NBA that we today will start the show with guided meditation for the Kobe stands. Right now, Rob is going to lead us in that guided meditation to start the show. Rob, take over.
If you all would please close your eyes. If you're not driving, of course, because that is a safety hazard,
Yes, it is.
please close your eyes. Take a
Mm-hmm.
deep breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. As you all can recall, this week, Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat scored 83 points.
Yes, he did.
He scored 83 American NBA points this week. So I would need everyone to make sure that you are relaxed in a very quiet place and you take a deep breath in one more time and out with the news I have given you. Now, when it comes to a lot of the things that have happened this week, what you saw from many different voices inside your head and out was the fact that there was an umbrage taken to Bam Adebayo receiving getting 83 points in one game. Because at one time, the second leading scorer in a game was Kobe Bean Bryant. Now, with the realization that Bam Adebayo is now the second most point scorer in all of NBA history, two centers between Bam and Wilt Chamberlain, who of course holds the 100-point record, which is still a round number, which is still conspicuous. We're not putting on tinfoil do rags. We were meditating. We must take a deep breath in and out. And I say we in more of the royal sense because this is more for the Kobe stands that are out there that really brought in articles and made sure that you know that this was not something that was right. It was unethical. It was something that shouldn't have been the case, even though Bam Adebayo, with about 5 or so minutes, nobody watched the game, so 5 or so minutes, he had like 70 something points and was getting considerably fouled because everybody felt that this should be the time that he goes after the record because it's a Tuesday game in fucking Miami between the Washington Wizards and the Miami Heat. What else are they going to do? Play Parcheesi? No. They just decided to go after the record. So, in, out. So what I need, Kobe stands. If you're within the Kobe stand right now, hold their hand. Please grab their hand.
Hold it tightly.
Hold it very tight because I think we all need some relaxation over the fact that Bam Adebayo scored 83 American NBA points in one regulated game. No overtime.
None.
There was no overtime controversy. Was all within the 48-minute parameter of a regulation NBA game. So please, if you have that Kobe stands hand, please hold it tight. Even if you're driving, you can hold it tight. I know it's two hands on the wheel. Some people driving one. It's okay. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But take that Kobe stance hand, and I want you to palm, like with your other hand. Now, granted, if you are driving now this is a safety hazard, so please
Definitely a
pull over and
safety
do
hazard.
this.
Definitely, definitely.
But hold their hand and with your palm in their hand, with their hand in your palm. You will get it together. With their hand in your palm, with your other hand, rub the top of it and say, Stan, we gonna get through this.
We gonna get through it.
31 is not a thing that can. I mean, it still can be tied to Kobe's name,
Yes,
but now
again.
he's number three, like Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was a great man, still a great man, great NBA player. You have now been moved down in what basically you believe was the second greatest scoring exhibition that you've ever seen. Now you're number three, bronze. It's Kobe. It's bronze in lore in NBA history in the Hall of Fame. Now he is bronze within the record book. But it's okay. Like I said, we're all gonna get through this together. So take another deep breath in and out because we need as a people, as a people, to learn how to enjoy something, to learn how to say, hey, this record was broken. We don't need to say unethical. There is nothing unethical.
Nothing.
However, this was an NBA game. Refs called it as it was supposed to be called. There was nothing untowards that happened here. So we need to figure out a way, and we need to come together. Whether we need to have another guided meditation or not, we need to make sure we come together. Take that deep breath in and out. You can take deep breaths on your own time. It's okay. It's okay. But make sure you take that deep breath in and out, and make sure that you understand that records, even though this wasn't the record, and the record is, kind of in question, and we're not gonna question it right now. We're not gonna question it. We're not. But make sure you take some time to get over yourself.
Get over it.
Please, just get over it.
All of
And,
it.
and that ends our guided meditation.
We hope that here at Brum Eagles Podcast that we've been able to help a few of you Kobe stands here. Look, I'm not. I'm not against a record being broken. Let's be clear. You know.
Mhm.
But Rob did say, can we just enjoy that the man got 83? Okay.
That's it. That's all. We don't have to. We don't have to question. Or like, I do, I get that they want to question it, or people like I know Tim McMahon from ESPN. He wanted to question it and stuff like that. He said it was like the worst, this and that, and all that. I'm like, man, this man ain't watched this game. I ain't watched this game. Everybody kind of either tuned to this game one way or another. For one, we're blacked out here. We can't even get
Yeah.
that
Well, yeah,
that
you were
channel.
blacked out there.
Yeah. So like, and I wasn't gonna try to find it, but like they went into it basically when essentially, or they being NBC, because they were on an actual good game, which was Celtics Spurs, and essentially they went into it and wanted to talk about it because it was history. Like whether it was record breaking or not, it was history, and nothing happened in a way that it was like, oh no, this is wrong, this is unethical, this is something that like a publicity stunt. No, this was a game that they had that he scored 83 in. He scored 31 in the first quarter. They said he scored, I want to say, 43 in the first half, and then he scored 40 in the second half, which, like, Tracy McGrady pointed it out, like during their halftime, we might not see somebody score 40 and 40 in both quarters every game, because the only two people that ever done it was Wilt and now Bam. Like, just enjoy it. This is record. This is something that we need to just look at and be like, okay, this is history. Like, I looked at it as, oh, this is absolutely amazing. He has his mom right there. watching the game, which I don't know why she was watching, Heat Wizards, but whatever. That was the time that she had to come to the game. Maybe she comes to more. But his girlfriend, of course, Asia Wilson, was there as well, who is the reigning, defending, undisputed, not necessarily undisputed because she's tied with Liz Cambage, but the points record in a single WNBA game. So it's kind of crazy that like they're both now the record holders for like all of the basketball world. But yeah, man, just enjoy it. It don't need to be scrutinized. It don't need to have everything like that because yeah, there's plenty of stories about why this shouldn't be. But like, nah, man, this was great.
Okay.
Just enjoy it.
So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play devil's advocate for the people at home. I understand what they're going through, and the reason is because it didn't happen naturally in the Florida game. The first half of it did. The first half, the
Okay.
43 and a half, that was natural. The only reason I knew that this was happening was because I had Bam for a leg for like 15 or 20 points, and I watched it jump up, and I said, "Is DraftKings all right, or are they, I said, is it glitching?" I said, maybe it's glitching. Let me check on over here. And he had 15 already. I said, he's kind of hot. Go ahead and put the game on one of these windows and kind of pay attention to it. He had 31. And then he kind of slowed down a little bit and he had the 43 and a half. I said he might be tapering off. He might finish the game with 60-ish, He gonna be somewhere up there. I think where the people had a problem is the fouling. Now, I will say this, people at home. He was telling his team not to foul, and they were fouling anyway. Okay, that is part of the. I guess we gonna help you get this anyway. Now, do did I want to see it like that? Not really. I didn't really want to see it like that, but it happened. So it's kind of nothing you can do about it. I will say this. I think I don't think it was Tracy McGrady. It was another NBA player said it. It might have been Horry or somebody like that. Said you're always gonna remember this game with an asterisk behind it because of how it happened. And I was like, asterisk or not, it still happened. This is still an 83-point game. I understand why though. I do understand their reasoning why they don't like how this game happened.
But here's the also thing about it. Okay, so let's talk about flow of the game. So you're talking about Kobe's game where he got one on ones his whole game. They nobody doubled him. They didn't do anything to basically stop Kobe. They just said, "All right, well let's let him go." You think that's a flow of the game? Like somebody's getting hot and then basically like, "Oh, let's not do anything about it." Like
Okay,
that's where it's like I think I'm kind of lost here because like
so now
yeah,
I think now, Rob, is where we're getting flow of the game and strategy mixed up. That was the Raptors that just didn't make an adjustment.
but what was happening with Bam was that he was getting doubled. He was getting doubled and tripled, and they were trying to basically stop him from getting doubled and tripled. And then he basically got fouled as they were being more rough with him.
Yeah,
Key and point is that also they didn't have any other scores. They didn't have Norman Powell. They didn't have Tyler Hero. They didn't have much else. Andrew Wiggins. They didn't have much else
it's not the
outside of
fouling
him.
of Washington to Bam. It's the fouling of Bam's teammates to Washington to get the
So, but
possessions.
so they could get more possession.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I
where
I, can, I
that's
can't
where
go
the
again.
flow of the game is messed up. See, I knew that the fouling of him was going to become inevitable because he was going at him, you know.
Mhm.
But it was the fouling of his teammates to get the extra possessions for him is where people are going to see the problem. They're not going to see a problem with the 43 free throw because they did foul. And I'm gonna say this, Washington. I don't know how much. Look, we're talking about the 83-point game, but damn it, I could rant about the other side of this situation that I see everything wrong with. But I'm gonna leave it at this. I don't know who in here, probably nobody, has been paying attention to what's going on with the Washington Wizards. I will say this. If you pay attention to a Wizards game, it's a different level of tanking that's going on over there, okay? And you may say, Price, how can you say that there's a different level of tanking? This is how I can say that there's a different level of tanking. A few days ago, well, close to a week ago, about 5, 6 days ago, Trae Young makes his return. First day back, looking kind of spry. So they sit him a game after that. And I said, I say Washington sees that he's hit a ball. So they bring him in again. They don't start him, they bring him in. In a total of 15 minutes, no, in a total of 17 minutes, Trae Young had 18 points and like 8 assists. Washington pulled him in the third quarter, and they were only playing him in like 5 to 6 minute spurts. Washington made sure, hey, little motherfucker, we not about to let you wheel us into this game. Get your ass back over here on this sideline, okay? It's a different level of maneuvering that's even going on over there. Look, some people may say, oh, whenever you playing checkers, they playing chess. No, they playing 3D next level chess, okay? Because what they're doing right now is not only are they manipulating the pieces on the board, but they calling their shots and our shots and the time. They doing it all at one time. They said, okay, Trae, you gonna go out here and play? Show us what you got. Okay, that's
But
enough.
what
Bring your ass back in here.
was it because of a minutes restriction though?
Nope. They're doing that every time he's gotten on the floor and he get hot. They start making a little push. See, we can't get the wins right now. We want that high draft pick. Can't get the wins right now. Gotta go out there and tank. Gotta go tank. And
Yeah.
he's a liability to win a game or win a series of games because whenever Trae Young's been on the floor, Alex Sarr has looked way better than what he's looked this year. The minute that they pull him off, it's basically, let me see, what's the right cartoon maybe to use for this? Look, the best way to explain what happens to Alex Sarr is Trae Young and Alex Sarr is Trae Young has the James Harden effect on Alex Sarr, just like he's had on I can't Jared Allen. He's having the same effect. He's having the same effect on Alex Sarr like James Harden has on Jared Allen. They put him out there, and all of a sudden, shit, he dunking the ball, and he
Brand new man.
Yeah, it's a brand new goddamn person. So now I look at it as Washington is playing 3D chess for next year. Okay, so is their counterpart on the West Coast in the Utah Jazz also playing 3D chess with the Mormons. They doing a whole lot over there right now. They look.
Yeah.
This is why we said 1, 2, I think that's 3 episodes, maybe 4 episodes ago. Flatten the rate on all of this. No, it might be 2 episodes ago. Flatten the rate on all of this ping pong nonsense because they're doing too much now. They're looking for that edge and percentage like all hell. And they're just, I'm gonna manipulate this and this. Trae Brand, and I mean he played 5 minutes of the oddest time in each quarter. Okay, and the minute that he get a little momentum, hey, bring your ass back here right now. Don't you do that, goddamn it! Come back over here.
Yeah.
I said I gotta watch y'all. I said, but hats off to Bam. Bam does have 83 points now. We may not have liked the fouling by his teammates for the extra possessions. It's his now. Okay. No matter what, until somebody else breaks it. And my money's probably on Luka to break this shit eventually. I think he might have the best chance right now of the current people. I think it would have to be him. I don't see Ant-Man doing it. I think it's gonna have to be a guy like Luka. Maybe the big man Jokic, but he likes to pass. I don't think he'll do it. He likes to pass. Maybe the young bull, maybe Cooper down the line, maybe. But I don't see this. I don't see these records. First of all, me and Rob have called into question that 100-point record. Years ago, we've called this into question.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, I've kind of backed off of it to a degree, but it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, where my skepticism still lies is that it was like around 100 points. Like I said in the goddamn session, like it not 102, not 98. It's a straight up flat 100, and it's like, why just 100? Like, because granted, has there be people that have scored a more than 100 points in a game, not NBA, but like in a basketball game? Yeah, Cheryl Miller did 100 points, but hers was 102. I think. Like, it wasn't like a flat 100 points. Like, um, so I mean, it is possible, I guess, to score 100 points in a game. It's just one of those things where it's just like it don't seem like it. Like, we ain't got nowhere near it except for like the two times that the two people score 80.
yeah,
So
and my whole skepticism about it, and then we gonna move on. These dudes are shooting threes, and they're having trouble touching this. Okay, he didn't shoot threes. I think it said that it was a double overtime. Was it a double overtime? It had to be something like that. It's
nah, it was only 48 minutes.
okay. See, and that's where my you know my skepticism comes into, because it's like I think they say he had like 36 field goals he made,
Hmm.
and I'm like,
36, 36 of 63,
there we go.
20, 28 of 32 from the line. He went 125 rebounds, 2 assists.
Mm-mm. It's crazy work. It's
I mean,
crazy work.
I mean, yeah, the game was 169 to 147. Like, so 300 some odd points were scored in a game with no threes.
All I'm saying is that's faster than one of the fastest paces that we had during the era called Showtime era. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to sound like a hater, because that's what people like to call people. When I kind of point out shit you like that, they call me a hater. Moving on, Rob. There's been some shakeups in the NFL. Some things that we've looked at and we've kind of say, oh man, look who's moving here, look who's moving there. Me getting Kenneth Walker over in Kansas City. We've seen a lot of things move, but there's one in particular that I want to talk about. It's about a quarterback, and he's moving to a team that you like, actually
Me?
that you love.
Oh,
Um, Kyler to the
what?
Vikings. Okay,
Oh, Kyler Murray.
how do you feel about this right now? Just tell me how you feel, bro. Because I gotta hear it from the Vikings fans' mouth.
All right, so I'll basically say it like this: Kyler Murray coming in for veterans minimum is an absolutely amazing deal. Point blank, period. I love it. I love the move, everything like that. Here's where I'm kind of not in lockstep with both Vikings fans and pundits that have talked about the move itself, is that they basically saying it's a foregone conclusion that Kyler Murray is the new starting quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings. And I think that there's kind of a lot of, I won't say recency bias, if that people are kind of coming to that conclusion, because here's where I basically see it. We got a quarterback that was with a team that essentially threw away their other starting quarterback, who they drafted in the first round, for Kyler Murray. Josh Rosen, who basically was like supposed to be the dude, and they threw him away for Kyler Murray when they had the number one overall pick, which is fine. People were like cool with it. It's like, all right, this worked. And early on, they were kind of proven to be right with Kyler Murray making back to back Pro Bowls, everything like that. Now, since that time, since the Pro Bowl years,
Mm-hmm.
Kyler Murray has not made the Pro Bowl. He's got a couple of comeback player of the year nods, but nothing where it's like, oh my god, this man has lit the world on fire. He has had good stats. I know many times put out that like he had, I
Okay.
think he was a top 10 in expected pass average or expected pass EPA, and just different other stats or whatever. But it was from 24, 25. He only played 5 games last year.
Yes.
Like, he had injury issues. He had like, I think it was like 900 yards, almost 1,000 yards. six touchdowns, three interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not great, not cool, not bad, but not like, oh my god, this is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it is where I'm like, okay, I don't see him just coming in and getting like awarded this job is because like a the team that just drafted you that was paying you decent money or good money
Yeah.
basically threw you away for a journeyman quarterback that they thinking is going to be the guy. Like this isn't the draft where it's like, oh my god, we there is a Kyler Murray type player here. There is somebody that we're gonna be able to unseat Kyler and basically put in and install for somebody that's good.
Yes.
This ain't that. Jacoby Brissett, no disrespect to Jacoby Brissett,
Mm-hmm.
he's a guy with a limit. He's a guy with a ceiling. Like he's like we were talking about it the other day. Jacoby Brissett is 230, two touchdowns, two interceptions.
Yep.
That is a typical
Right there.
Jacoby Brissett game. Now he's gonna be stable. He's gonna basically breed you some stability. He did get the record for completions in the game, and that is absolutely not just like with Bam, cannot be questioned. But the thing about it is he is a man who I think has a much lower ceiling but a higher floor than Kyler Murray. And they banking on that, especially because he's older. He's like 4 years older than Kyler Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Banking on that instead of the guy that they drafted. They did not want him anymore. They wanted to throw him away and wanted to go for the cheaper journey. So if I'm looking at that just for what it is, I can't say that it's a foregone conclusion that this man is going to come in with all of that. Granted, I think people are assuming that he's going to be humble too. I don't know him like that. We'll see. I would hope so, but this is more like I've said before. This was a move that was more to humble JJ McCarthy, which from what it sounds like with what they're going with, I can understand why they're wanting it. They want to basically make sure he knows that shit ain't sweet. This ain't a guaranteed job for him, and that he needs to work and basically improve himself to be a starting quarterback within the NFL. I
Mm-hmm.
think he showed good signs. I don't think he showed consistent signs,
Okay.
but he played 10 games, and I don't think it's enough time to throw the baby out with the bathwater, especially when this was the highest quarterback ever picked in the franchise's history. Okay. So it's not as if like I can basically be like, yeah, this was a failed experiment. We gotta basically, cut bait and we gotta do this. Because the thing with it is also, as a Vikings fan, I am sick and tired. Like we've been doing this so long. I'm tired of basically having the quarterback off the scrap heap. I'm tired of getting just every quarterback that we can find at big lots. Like I don't I look, we had Kirk, who we
Okay.
signed to that deal
But
that y'all kept
Kurt
criticizing
worked out for y'all for a while. Y'all
to
were
a degree.
playoff
To,
bound.
to a
Y'all
degree.
were there for a little bit.
And then he tore his Achilles and we said, hey, we
Mm-hmm.
need to try for some news, especially because we had the top 10 pick within the NFL draft.
True.
But I want to basically have a quarterback that I draft and can rely on and basically be like, this is the guy that we want to go with. Because I think that JJ McCarthy can be that. I don't think there's enough evidence to basically be like, no, there's no way JJ McCarthy can be an NFL quarterback. There's no way you can win with JJ McCarthy. A bunch of quarterbacks have been given that I can't win with them until they actually did it. Peyton Manning being the key one. Is JJ McCarthy Peyton Manning? No, he is not. But either way, it is something. Sam Darnold, fucking the motherfucker that just won the Super Bowl was a motherfucker that basically people were like, "Oh no, you
Yes, he
ain't gonna
was.
win with Sam Darnold,"
Now
and then
hold
he
on.
did.
This is where I'm gonna play a card that you may not like that I'm gonna play.
Okay,
Could it be said that we've had more success with secondary quarterbacks than what we've had with our
the Vikings have picked two quarterbacks in the first round in my fandom, and that's Christian Ponder and
didn't work
JJ
out?
McCarthy. Yes, so yeah,
Currently
like
may not
had
work out.
yeah, so has it been to where we picked more, where we've had more success? Yeah, but that's because we basically have only done it twice, and with the second time, we're only in year two, or we just completed year two, and he didn't play in year one.
This is true.
So that's what I'm saying. There's nothing to say that this is a failed experiment, and yeah, I'm we can't keep relying on, oh man, we'll just find another. Like that
This
doesn't
is true.
work. That's
But
something you can't. Go ahead.
but what if this is the my found long term young fix?
What do you mean?
Kyler isn't that old.
Right,
Okay.
but
What if he comes in, he finds massive success? Let's say if you make it to that conference playoff game again, you know,
okay,
or he's there, he has you there 2 3 times. Let's say you even make a Super Bowl appearance.
okay,
Okay, would it not be fair to say we've had more success pulling people off the trash heap than what we've drafted? Now I'm not saying, but like you said, I'm not saying that JJ McCarthy is just trash. He's a done experiment. Okay,
yeah.
but in history, took Brett Favre. You was right there. Up until a dirty hit, you was right there. You was there up until a
I
dirty
mean,
hit.
it was more, it was a little bit more than
It,
that,
it,
but
it was, it was, but you was there.
yes, yeah.
Kurt, you was there. You was in playoffs. You was there a
We
lot.
were in the playoffs,
You was
made it
there
to
a
the
lot.
playoffs.
You was there.
I
And then turn around. You have a 1 year wonder again. He just won the Super Bowl. He had y'all one step from the Super Bowl. He said, "Hey, give me a little more," and we right there. And he got a little more, and he was right there. That's why I'm saying, could it not be that maybe, just maybe? I'm not saying that it's gonna happen for sure. That maybe if he steps in and y'all have massive success with him, you know, just massive success, and maybe y'all make them runs and y'all are relevant playoff, deep playoff run teams again,
mhm.
and it's with him. Could it not be said that, hey man, we had more success picking up somebody else shit than what we do?
I mean, yeah, I can't. Yeah, you could just say that right flatly right now, but that's what I'm saying is that's not the question here. The question is not can we do it. The question is how sustainable can we keep doing it. We've only really done this. The time that basically I started watching this team, they had Randall Cunningham at the helm. Like before that, Warren Moon. Like
Didn't Randall Cunningham
it's not
have y'all in the playoffs?
yeah, but that's what this
Maybe
isn't
y'all got the
we can't.
maybe y'all got the 3.5 leaf clover in your pocket. It ain't a full four because you ain't won the Super
But
Bowl, but
when
you
does
was
that
right
month?
there.
But a four-leaf clover ain't immortal. Like a four-leaf clover is not something that's gonna basically stay up forever.
I
But
can't say that because
it's gotta
Fry
get.
put one in the pack on Futurama and he had it forever.
That's a cartoon. What I'm saying is like it's got to get to a point where it's like, hey, look, we can't just keep getting takeout all the time. We
This is
gotta
true.
get some home fucking cooking sometime, and basically because we can go the whole patchwork thing and basically just be like, all right, we'll go. Hey, we don't have a great receiver. Let's not draft a receiver. Let's just go over to free agency. Hey, we're gonna be like Dion with fucking Colorado, which is hey, let's wait on another Travis Hunter instead of let's go recruit, get to fucking pavement, and let's go find a Travis Hunter. Or let's go
Mm.
find a motherfucker that actually he recruited Travis Hunter or whatever, or he snatched Travis Hunter from Florida State. It's gotta get to a point where you gotta cook from home and you gotta basically pick out some people and just say, like, hey, let's build around this because we can't keep just waiting on a quarterback to fail with another team and hope that we can basically brush them off and basically have this thing go for us. Because yeah, can Kyler Murray come in and push us to an NFC Championship game? Sure, why not? It yes, Brett Favre did it. Fucking who else had us? Case Keenum did it. Yes, it happens. It has happened. But that's not to the point of hey, let's never draft a quarterback
Yeah, I
again.
ain't saying never draft one.
That's what you are saying. If you're saying that like, hey, y'all had more success doing this, okay, yeah, but we hadn't really had the opportunities to draft high. Because think about it, the top
What number did
quarterback
y'all draft AP at?
that was like 5.
It's kind of high.
Yeah, but at that time, I don't even know who was basically in the draft as far as a quarterback. And even then, I can't remember who the quarterback of the Vikings was. I think it was Christian Ponder.
I think
I
it
don't
was
even know.
Christian Ponder for
I,
sure.
I don't even know. But either way, like matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up. But like I said, the fact of the matter of we didn't have it, it's not as if like, okay, we need to basically just not draft a quarterback. Because if you're saying that, well, yeah, y'all keep having success by not drafting a quarterback or not having a quarterback that you drafted, then that's saying that we shouldn't draft a quarterback. But it's got to get to a point that that cost savings has to be had, because it's not like there's going to be a Kyler Murray that's getting overpaid by the fucking Arizona Cardinals is going to fall in our lap, or Russell Wilson getting overpaid by the Broncos. Somebody's got to pay these dudes, and we can't
Yeah.
just wait for these niggas to basically fall to us if they fall to us, because Kyler Murray, which I kept saying, should have basically took his ass to the Steelers, because I thought he would have got more money, and I thought they would basically be somebody that really needs a quarterback to get him more than we need. I think they need him more than we do.
Okay, so
And
peep
and
game.
and and they're a team that basically been doing this bullshit. And the last time they won a Super Bowl, and they have never won a Super Bowl or haven't won, even gotten close with a nigga, because they keep going after that
Yeah.
shit. I don't want my team.
Well, they're kind of the opposite of y'all. They need home cooking to even to get to the Super Bowl. They just have temporary patchwork fit. Look, I'm not saying never take a quarterback. You know, I'm just saying you find a little bit more success. But I looked it up. Y'all took Adrian Peterson at 7, and that year was Jamarcus Russell was the number 1 quarterback. So you
And we
wouldn't have
weren't
won
close to
right
that.
now.
Yeah.
And Brady Quinn was in that class. Kevin Cobb was there. Drew Stanton was in there.
Yeah. Our starting quarterback was Travaris Jackson.
Yeah, can't even remember him for y'all.
Travaris Jackson. Travaris Jackson.
Can't even remember him for y'all. To be
Oh,
honest with
I remember Tavarius. He actually went on from us to then go to the Seahawks right after. Now I remember him, but that's what I'm saying. Like we and Tavarius Jackson was, I want to say, a second or third rounder. I know we're getting bogged down for y'all in all of this, but overall, like, nah, man, I want to basically believe in JJ McCarthy until we literally can't.
you.
Like,
Yeah,
I think we have plenty of time. We still get at least shit. They got a 50 option, and basically you could tag them right after. We at least got 3 more years before we really have to make a decision.
yeah.
And we can make a decision in at least like 2 more, like either next year or after next year, or after the season after. But there's no reason that we need to give up on JJ at this point. I think if JJ can basically prove himself, if he could show signs that basically he is the quarterback of this team and he lead this team, yeah, whoever wins between him and Kyler, cool. But the key point should be either making sure JJ McCarthy improves, or if he shows that basically he bitches out, throw his ass out.
Or his body is one of the other.
That too. But Kyler Murray's had injury problems too, and that's also the thing. Like I said, he only played 5 games last year, partially because he was injured, partially because it sounded like they were ready to be done with him and
Yeah.
didn't want to basically have him become injured. So then he's not as good of a trade piece. So that's what I'm saying. We got a quarterback that somebody really did not want, and it's a quarterback that it is a team that needs a quarterback. And if they said Jacoby Brissett is that dude, they're gonna not say Jacoby Brissett is that dude by this time next year. I
Yeah.
can bet that.
Look, this is what I'll say. I think that and I'll say this before we jump to next topic. I think the Kyler Murray thing is a little bit deeper than what we think it is, because I remember at one point during the season he was posting shit that he was healthy and ready to go, and they were like, "Nah." They
Mhm.
were like, "No, you not. We not bringing you back." And I was like, that's kind of fucked up.
It is kind of fucked up.
And it made me think. I'll, I'm Cardinals. I'm not going to accuse you of doing that
The,
to
the,
him.
the T word.
Yeah,
I mean, what were you accused? What was gonna be? Let's just
I,
say what it rhymed with.
banking, clanking, drinking. You know,
Okay, okay.
I do.
So,
I do think that we are on the same page with that one,
okay.
because I remember him posting videos and this, that, and other. And I was like, "Oh, dude's coming back early. He's ready to go." And they were like, "Mm-mm." And then I think it got to a point where he must have said something, and they had to play him at some point, and it just was what it was at that point. And I'm like, okay, I, because let's be real, they got up off of Kyler. They cut him, and not Jacoby Brissett, which Jacoby Brissett was in New England. I feel like this.
Jacoby Brissett was with 5 other
Yeah,
teams.
I feel like in New England, if they can't get the most out of you there and get you to do the most, once you go somewhere else, it's whatever. It's just whatever at that point. But I look, best wishes to Kyler and JJ McCarthy and everybody. And I hope you Vikings get it together because watching that team is pretty entertaining whenever they're healthy. But we got to talk about people who wasn't healthy or who were, questionably healthy. Ravens back out of what happened with Maxx Crosby. Uh, this is one of those situations where I thought we were going to see, hey, take this second round pick too and keep him. You know, I thought that's what we were going to see. Is he hurt? Yes. Will we have to see him have some type of surgery? Yes. Um.
No, he's already had the
Oh, so
surgery.
he's already had it.
Yeah, he
Okay.
had the surgery back in I think either December or January, which
Ah,
it was a
that's what it was.
meniscus repair. So
I thought he had
he had
something
the
new.
mm-mm. Nah, he had the meniscus
Okay.
repair. That's what was basically seen by the doctors of the Ravens, and from what is said is that like whatever they saw wasn't what they liked, and they basically gave like a nah, we good, or they gave I guess the results, and whatever results gave made the decision or help form the decision for the Ravens to say no, we're out of the trade.
Hmm. Okay. So at that point, me personally, I might have sought a second opinion just to see what happened. But them not getting him, okay. I think the Raiders still have to try to move him
Chances are, because let me look at
because
that.
I don't think he wants to
There's
be there. I don't think he wants to be there
no, I don't think he didn't want to be there because well, okay, what makes you say he doesn't want to be there?
because it looks like whenever I look at him, and this is just my opinion of people in Raiders uniforms, it's like they don't want to be there. And then he had the thing with the cleats that he had for his little girl. That was an NFL issue. I think he's one of those guys that he's ready to go somewhere where he can compete now, you know, because he's not old, but he's getting towards that. Hey, I'm going towards my peak age of where I probably produce the most. I need to be somewhere else. The Raiders ain't it, like the Raiders. I'll be real. The only thing that can save the Raiders is if they suffer from what I like to call first year quarterback syndrome. If you get a first year quarterback that comes out there and does really, really, really freaking good, and then that draft pick drops, and you wind up drafting lower than if you just would have sucked again the next year, i.e., Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels comes in there, he does really good his first year, and then he's hurt again. So that first year screwed you with that draft pick. Now we had to be bad another year to get another good draft pick. You know, that's the only thing that can hurt the Raiders, and I don't think that that's possible because I think the Raiders are that bad. That's my opinion. I think Crosby is going to be out. I do think that it's a possibility, and this is why I wish our other bro Migo that's out on consignment would have been here. I think it's a possibility that old white haired oil tycoon down there might take a shot at trying to make a move for him because we know Dallas' defense is abysmal. So
So I would say they already said no. Now,
they
granted,
said no.
they said no when basically the whole thing, because that was my thing, and I think that was other people's thing. Like, okay, yeah, this is where Dallas is gonna swoop in, but they said no. They said that they were not going to pursue him at that time. And that was at that time when the trade basically was null and void.
Yeah,
So and it has to be said that yeah, the Ravens did go pick up Trey Hendrickson, who was the top defensive end free agent in this free agent class, top pass rusher in this free agent class, and signed him to 4 years, 120, I want to say, which is cheaper than what Maxx Crosby would have basically been having to be paid. Now I am looking on Spot Track, and it look like they got $25 million of cap room, which they had like 700 some odd million to start all of it, and that's after they basically made all of their free agency signings. Tyler Linderbaum from the Ravens, Quay Walker from the Packers, Kwity Paye from the Colts. Like they made moves. Kobe Dean from the Eagles. Like they made moves to basically bring the guys in, and it looks like unless I'm seeing something wrong with Spot Track, they will be able to make it happen. Granted, they still got to sign their, of course, Fernando Mendoza and basically that. But it's essentially the Ravens keep their first round picks. The Raiders don't have additional first round picks, and essentially it's just like that. But yeah, no, I mean, um, it's interesting because essentially, yeah, like I don't know if Mac everything has been saying that like Maxx Crosby liked being a Raider. He did the whole Raider Nation. I disappointed you, and that could have been lip service. Could have been basically
I
like
think it was.
whatever. But to the fact of the matter of it still could be to where he wants to be there. Because I mean, I think we do assume that motherfuckers like I
Yes, we
think we
do.
talked about it last week.
Yeah,
Like
that we assume people don't want to be somewhere, and they might
or
want to be somewhere.
or they want to win. Like
Yeah,
it's got to be like I gotta win a Super Bowl. I have to win a Super Bowl. When it's like if you're the most dominant pass rusher, they gonna basically Super Bowl or not, they gonna put you in the hall. If what you're
yeah,
worried about is, hey, I want to get into the hall. If you shine like Maxx Crosby, if he basically keeps the way that he's been, he's going to get into the Hall of Fame.
yeah.
Like it's not going. He doesn't need a Super Bowl ring. Yeah, it might solidify it, but it'll be that. But yeah, like
Kind of like with Miles Garrett. Miles Garrett not looking like he gonna
yeah,
win one.
he's
But he's gonna be in the
he's
Hall of Fame.
he's a fucking lock.
Yeah,
Like, but yeah, like that's where that goes. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna see. We're gonna see how this goes. I mean, shit, how it's gonna work with him and Quiddy Pay, I guess, gonna be on both sides. I mean, seems like it could work. And I mean, it could very well be they move him for a second and or let's say they move him for a third and a fifth to the Cowboys because now that the cost of the brick has gone down. You know, maybe that's what the case is.
now, here's an interesting one. I know not a lot of people may think about this one, but I'll throw this one out there, and this is just my opinion. I'd maybe try if I was Tennessee. The
Mm,
reason I'd try if I was Tennessee, you just picked up Wendell Robinson, okay, as a receiver, okay,
mm,
to put across from Ridley. Ridley had hamstring issues this season, but you're taking some of the load off of him because Ridley's 31. We know whenever receivers hit kind of like that 30-ish area, some dudes see major regression. He just had an injury. You don't know what you're going to get back.
mm,
But I think if you were to get, like they've done, they got Wendell. If you were to go get a defensive presence on the other side of the ball, and I'm going to say a tight end for for the uh, for the Titans, I think that the Titans could shake something up. I don't feel so. like I said last year, that man was running for his life most of the season. Um, I do believe that if if Tennessee put in the work and invested the money into people, they can be back in the playoffs. They could be back in the playoffs. It's gonna be a little quarterback development. I think they may be like 2 years out, 3 years out, maybe. You never know. He might have a turnaround season. You never know. He might have a hell of a sophomore season. It's hit or miss. We don't know what's gonna happen with a new target, and really, it might work out. It might work
And
out.
I think that people like because people think it's a foregone conclusion that Trevor Lawrence is like fixed now. It's like I he had and this is the thing that gets me sometimes. It's like people are like, "Oh man, Trevor Lawrence, he's lived up to the potential now." It's like y'all been basically questioning this man since he came into the league, including after he got his money. And he had one nice 12, 14 game stretch.
Yep.
And now it's basically like, oh, hallelujah, it's a miracle. Like, I don't understand that part. Like everybody's a fucking skeptic until basically this motherfucker basically has a nice little stretch, and now it's like, oh no, this is what we believe. This
I
is
don't
what
understand how they
basically
think he's fixed, Rob. I'm
because
I'm still so. Let me tell you something. I know there's somebody who's a Jacksonville Jags fan, and you're one of them people right now who's
you,
pushing this bullshit right now.
you,
This he's fixed shit.
you, you.
Look, he had a good run, but I want you to look at a few things, and I'm gonna just unpack this real quick. I'm gonna roll it out on the table, and I'm gonna roll this shit back up and throw it in the corner. Okay, you played the Bills, you lost to the Bills. What do the Bills really have? They only beat you by 3, but what do the Bills really have? Because Travis Achan back in New Orleans now, he didn't left. Okay,
It's
uh,
Achan, not
yeah,
Etienne. It's
yeah.
Achan.
So he's left you. Okay. Then you're gonna look over and you beat the Bengals. We all know the Bengals have it's a pissing match when you play them. I just gotta outscore him. That's it. You beat the Panthers. There's probably a college team that might be able to beat the Panthers right now. Let's just be honest. You beat the Chiefs whenever they were hurt. Okay. The 49ers, I don't know what was wrong with them. They were hurt. It's been a lot going on over there. You managed to beat them. You lost to the Seahawks. You lost to the Rams. You beat the Raiders. We all know what the Raiders were. We all know what the Raiders were. They
That's
made
out of week
Geno
one.
Smith look like the pumpkin after 12 o'clock in Cinderella. Okay? Just a pumpkin again. He ain't a carriage no more.
Right.
Okay? You beat the Colts, which like I said, quarterback issues over there. Just major quarterback issues. Outside of that, that team is solid. You beat the Jets. Who are the Jets? Just who are the Jets? Rob, you know
Just
about the Jets?
oh, I know about them Jets. They dysfunction
There you
to to a D.
go. There you go, bro. You beat the Cardinals. Okay. The one questionable team that you beat is the Chargers and the Texans. The two questionables. Because the Texans were hurt. Okay. And the Chargers, we don't know what the Chargers do whenever they show up. I think that they pull out the dungeon dice and roll them on the ground and be like, we're gonna play good today. And that's it. That's how that worked. Now they did beat the Broncos at one point, but it's like, it's like okay, yeah, you made it through it once. Sun shines on the dog's ass every now and then. Okay, that's it. So I don't know how you people have come up with this. Trevor Lawrence is fixed. Like, all right, you go ahead and put your money on him if you want.
Yeah.
That's one I'm gonna steer clear of all the time. Be like, what are you over there doing? I'm gonna leave him alone. That's it. I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna let that go. But I think he could have maybe wound up being a. I think Crosby could have wound up maybe being a Titan. It would have been something to shake up the NFL for sure. But we're gonna see if the price goes down and if they still move him or not.
Right.
Now we got to move on from NFL. I know we've been ranting going back and forth today. We almost didn't kill an hour on y'all, right?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but we got to get through our MLB NL West preview. But first, before we start that, well, let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna say this because his last topic is about
Yeah.
DR. Nah. I'm gonna wait. So, do you think Nolan Arenado here, your boy, who's former Cardinal,
Former Cardinal.
do you think he is gonna get his groove back in Arizona?
I think so. I'm and I'm not a vindictive Cardinals fan. I'm cheering him on. Like I think he was very professional and really made a as there's a bunch of things that I can go on about with, or no Leonardo. Granted, I'm not in that clubhouse or anything like that, but I will say, like from the outside looking in, he was very much professional, very
Mm-hmm.
much basically. Was making the making the best out of a bad situation, especially because it was like he was holding up, a spot because he wasn't playing well. The last 2 years he hadn't really played all that well, or not to the degree that basically was the expectation for Nolan Arenado. Granted, still gold glove ish, third baseman, but just wasn't playing well. But I think that with him going back out west, going to Arizona, I think he gets his groove back, especially with this team. You got Ketel Marte. They just went and got Carlos Santana. You got Corbin Carroll, who could be an MVP candidate. Geraldo Perdomo. Excuse me, easy for me to say. But no, man, you got a bunch of players that basically are going to be around him for a team that, according to baseball perspectives, going to win 78 games. So they're saying they're going to be below 500, which is kind of crazy. Like,
Mm,
I think this is a better team than what
yeah.
they're saying, especially they bringing back Zach Gallen. Like Corbin Burns, I don't know when he's going to actually come back. And then maybe that's what it is because this team doesn't have much of a number two starter. Brandon Fat, Merrill Kelly, maybe they step up, but it's like this team doesn't have somebody that you can really rely on as far as being that number two starter. Also, like they're missing some pieces in that bullpen as well. They don't have a solid enough bullpen, but I don't know if it's gonna be anything that basically is gonna strike fear in the heart, especially when the NL West is gonna be pretty nice this year. Not as nice as last year, I wouldn't think, but still pretty nice. But yeah, no, I mean, I think he does get his groove back though, and I think that this Diamondbacks team is gonna put its fangs out.
So I'll say this. So I think the Diamondbacks are going to win more than 78 games than what baseball perspective is saying. For one, two, I think he does also get his groove back there. The reason is this: I feel like Arizona is one of those places that it's more than just retirement. I feel like it's peace out there, even for players. I feel like
Hmm.
it's peace out there even for players, and I feel like it'd probably be a great place to meditate. I feel like I can find myself out there in Arizona. It's hot. I'm already used to hot, but I feel like he will in that lineup.
Hmm.
I feel like he's gonna find a comfortable spot. He's gonna be able to sit in. He's gonna be able to ground himself back in, and I think that he's gonna make. I think he's gonna give them a more of a veteran presence than what they've had before. Because Nolan's a guy who's been there. He's been a winner. Okay,
Hmm.
and I think with Eduardo there, him, they got Soroka pitching. I feel like those guys are gonna settle down. Zach Gallen, like you said before. Just looking at the team right now, look, they got Nolan's gonna be on third. Okay,
Hmm.
Jordan Lawler's gonna be there at shortstop. They got enough youth. Cattell Marte, one of my favorites, swinging the bat.
Yep.
Uh, Carlos Santana is there. The look, the good old switchy, hell of a switch hitter, hell of a switch hitter. Okay, even though I want to rant about them later on tonight. And you got Corbin Carroll out there. That team is going to be well put together, and I feel like 78 games is low. Damn, why would y'all say that they're under 500?
Yeah, so looking at the division, it looks like they got two teams basically going under 500. Them being baseball perspective,
Well, we already know what the obvious one is.
right? And
So,
but you also got of course, San Francisco, San Diego, and the Dodgers. So yeah, and I think that's probably what they're banking on is that which I'm gonna go and I'm gonna say like what baseball perspectives has as the other people's records. But yeah, no, they're basically saying that they're gonna be the odd man out within this division, which when it comes to those teams, I can see that I can see the vision, but it's like I don't know if it's gonna be that. I don't know. I don't know.
nah. Look, so I think they can still be above 500. They can still be above 500. I disagree with you, baseball perspective.
Yeah.
I I think that we're shorting that Diamondbacks team. Now, Are the Padres the most disappointing team in baseball? Will that continue? Who? Mm.
Gotta talk about it. I think we gotta talk about it at this point because
Okay,
go ahead.
I'm gonna let you go first on this because it's a lot that we can unpack here.
Yep. So and the reason and okay, so because we got to talk about disappointment because this is a Padres team that has been built for the last few years to be a team that's supposed to go deep into the playoffs. That's got a high powerhouse team. When you talk about Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, Joe Musgrave, who's usually hurt. Uh, they had Dylan Cease last year, who is now a part of the Blue Jays. Like this is a team that is continuously aggressive and going after free agents and paying them big money because they gave what Fernando Tatis Jr. They bought out his arbitration years.
Mm-hmm.
They gave Manny Machado the big numbers. They gave Xander Bogaerts. They gave a lot of people. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I heard the motorcycle. But uh, but yeah, like they've gone after, and so like the last couple years, or last few years, let me rattle off some of these records: 90-72, 93-69. 82-20, granted, 2023, 89-73.
Mm-hmm.
Like these are really good records for a team that lost in the wild card last year, lost in the NLDS the year before, and then lost in the NLCS back in 2022 when they finished 89-70. This has been a generally disappointing team. Like I don't think that you can basically look at this team, which is still built like they brought back Michael King. They did lose Robert Suarez, and everything like that, but they still have Mason Miller, who they traded a lot of capital for. Still got, Jackson Merrill. They still got some of these pieces that they're still looking to build around, but it's still to the point of it's like, are they going to continue to disappoint? Now, baseball perspectives got them winning 81 games. So it's like they're not having them basically, you know, torch Earth, here.
Okay.
They're having them basically competing. They went and got Griffin Canning, who I thought was a really nice signing. Uh, Still got Nick Pavetta, who was a surprise last year with how well, like he's an all star, everything. But I think this is a team that has been on a disappointing path and is going to disappoint again this year. And it sucks that I said it because I'm like, this is a team that I've basically picked to either win the World Series or win it, and they blew it up in my motherfucking face. So
Okay, Rob. I can see where you are with this being probably one of the most. Okay, why he handles that? I can see where Rob is coming from, where he's saying that this is one of the most disappointing teams in baseball because of what they've lacked to achieve. Yes, yes, they have. They have a lot of talent there. They have all of the guys that you could want. Xander Bogart is still there. Cronenworth is still there. Fucking Manny's there, which gotta see him later on today. USA in the USA game. Miguel Anwar, Nick Castellanos. I can see where he's coming from. Jackson Merrill there, Sheets, Fernando Tatis. Look, you make a point. There are a lot of people here that make this disappointing. But I'm going to say this. Whose fault is it? Because at the end of the day, I feel like this is one of those I gotta lay the blame at the players not being clutch whenever they need to be clutch. Because people
ooh,
are
that's
getting paid. People are getting paid to go to San Diego.
ooh, that's you know what?
People are getting paid to go to San Diego. I take the money to go there.
So
I'm gonna just be real
so
with you.
okay, because we're saying who's the fault here. We got Mike Schilt, who was he was the manager of the Cardinals before us, and
Okay.
basically I still don't forgive the Cardinals for letting him go. Can he be the case? Sure. Mainly because it's like those last 2 years, with him at the helm, they went like I said, 93-69 and 90-72. Is he the one? I don't know.
But
Because the thing about it is, because we could blame the players. We could say Fernando Tatis Jr.
okay,
basically
it's
not
suspensions had
coming
something to
through,
play, and suspensions had something to
suspensions
play with it.
and everything like that. Yeah, I mean it's kind of hard to basically pin it on one person. And because to be honest, what I would blame is the Dodgers. Like the Dodgers basically kind of running roughshod over, not last year because last year that was the Cubs that basically knocked them out of the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the year before, yeah, it was the Dodgers on their way to their first world championship. Which it was all the way up until game 4. I think that basically the Padres had like a good hold on that series. Or we could just blame San Diego. Think about it. Like the Chargers were basically a team within that area. And what were the Chargers? A team that basically would have nice teams where you had Drew Brees or Phillip Rivers and you had LaDainian Tomlinson on those teams. And then
Okay.
they would basically find a way to pull, defeat out the jaws of victory. And one way or another, whether it's LT not wanting to play at New England while Phillip Rivers is playing on a torn ACL, or whatever, what have you. Like it might be just like we talk about Atlanta sports. It might be just San Diego sports. But but yeah, no, I mean it's hard to place blame and give like a single one because there's a lot of things that basically a lot of factors where blame can be placed. But to that point, it is to where it's like, yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know.
All right. So this is what I'll say, Rob. I have to blame this at the feet of everybody that's there because this team is built for success. You know who you're competing against in this division. Granted, one of these teams is basically a non-factor. It
Yeah.
is basically a non-factor and has been
And
for
we'll get to
yeah.
them.
We'll get to them, but they've been a non-factor like all together. It's nothing. This San Diego team. Whenever I look at them, if you told me that Xander Bogaerts is still playing good, Jay Cronenworth is there, they have Manny Machado, could be an MVP guy. You looking at Nick Castellanos, solid guy right there. If I'm not mistaken, Jackson Merrill's still there, Gavin Sheets is still there, Tatis is there. Okay. If you told me that I have that ability with those bats, those gloves, not to mention it's not like you have a trash pitching rotation, okay? Because one of the things that we do here, and I gotta call us out on this, Rob, we are quick. We are quick to call out a team with a trash pitching rotation.
Mhm.
And that is not something that we did here. Mason Miller is there. Okay.
Mhm.
Yuki's there. Okay. Musgrove is still there. Peralta is still there. Pavetta, like you said, he was very
Yeah,
high.
one of y'all dudes.
Yeah, bro. Everything is here. Everything is here for them to win. I can't say that they were trash pitching. I gotta I gotta lay this at the players' feet to a certain degree.
Mhm.
Because at some point, if I'm getting paid and they're paying me to try to win as much as possible, I think we got to figure out how to right this ship at some
Yeah,
point. I
gotta get over that
know,
hump.
yeah, I know we're in there with the Dodgers. Let's be real. The Dodgers is your biggest enemy over here, okay?
Yes.
That's Thanos, okay? That's Thanos. And right now they got two stones, okay? I don't know how we gonna stop them, but we look, they have two stones right now. We have to figure this out. I think this is the year that you have to kind of figure this out because if you let the Dodgers, who are currently beating the living breaks up off of Chicago 10-2 in the fourth inning, if you don't figure this out, it's gonna be more seasons to come of Magic Johnson collecting rings with that investment team that invested in them and them constantly doing what they're doing because they have wizardry with their accounting books. Okay, you have to learn to perform some of the same wizardry that they're doing. Okay, and you have to figure out how to get players on board to say we're here to win. This is my legacy, their legacy. They're putting their faith in me. I'm getting paid this money. Okay, I think that has to be the attitude of the players, because I can tell you now that's what the attitude over there is in La La Land for the Dodgers. We winning and getting paid. That's all they say. That's all they say. I guarantee that's all they say. I
Yeah.
guarantee that's all they say. Because that's all I'd be saying. So they have to figure this out. And I gotta lay the blame at their feet right now. I can't lay the blame anywhere else, Rob. I have to
Yeah.
lay it at their feet right now. Now, moving on from them. Uh, we were going to have a top five recommendation in the cannabis industry about what you need to be smoking on if you're a Rockies fan, okay? At this point, I'm telling you now, you need to smoke whatever because it's
Find
no
it,
way in
get it.
hell that you are a Rockies fan and you not getting Rocky Mountain Mile High on a daily basis if this is the team that you watch in the MLB. It has to be a level of disappointment that is tremendously off the scale. Just it gotta be somewhere you have to be trying to get as high as the moon, maybe even Saturn. You have to be out there because there's no way in hell that if I'm a Rockies fan, I'm okay with this. You have to cry at night. You have to. You are the non-factor in this division. You're
Mm.
like whenever The Rock cut that segment about people about the person on the phone who called for you, Hurricane. It's nobody.
Nobody.
It's no, but man, I pick up the phone. It's nobody wants to talk to you
Which
because
which was
nobody
Pat
wants to
Patterson
talk to you.
saying. It was Pat Patterson saying. But yeah.
Nobody wants to be a Rockies fan. Nobody should be paying attention to this. Only the local people have to even support this. I wouldn't even want to be a local supporting this. This is a travesty. It's out of line. No
Yeah.
moves made. We ain't trying to do nothing.
Now they
We
made moves.
not good enough.
No. So they went and picked up Eduardo Julian Edouard Julian from the Twins, who had a nice little start with the Twins, but hadn't really panned out.
You're
Willie
pulling people from the
Castro,
Twins.
he was pretty good. He was pretty good. Willie Castro from the what's the name Cubs, who
Okay,
was also good.
he was good.
Uh, Charlie Condon, who was a top prospect within their system, hitting prospect. Zach Veen, another
Hmm.
guy who was basically talked about in their minor league system. Of course, bringing back Ezekiel Tovar, Jordan Beck, another guy, highly touted. Hunter Goodman, who was their All
None
Star
of that
last year.
is enough to compete in this division.
No, no, you are absolutely correct. That is absolutely true. They do not have anything. They're gonna trust it. They're gonna still try to get Chase Dolander, who Chase Dolander was ran through the ringer last year. That man was through the fire, through the wind, and through the fall, like
Through it
every
all,
bit. Like he got beat up, and I mean, yeah, they don't have, like you said, they do not have anything.
if you're a
Um,
Rockies fan, you need to smoke every day. I look, I
if you're
condone it
not doing it already, if you're not doing it
every
already,
day.
whatever your du jour, go ahead and do it.
Every day. Get to it. Get
Just
with it.
take an Uber to the stadium. Already, I don't know if you can basically smoke there. I doubt it. But if you got your pre rolls ready, just go ahead.
They
Like
need to have
hell,
a smoking
tailgate.
section.
How do they tailgate? Like, do they just smoke and tailgate out there? Like, I would think
You
just
need
basically
to.
be like blazing, still blazing. Like baseball perspective's got to win the 60 games. That's it, 60,
60.
and that might be on the high end. But like the thing about like, yeah, this team don't have shit that y'all need to basically worry
I
about.
don't think
They
did they
ain't got.
win 60 games last year. They won 43 last year. How the hell they get to 60 this year?
I think I think this is more one of those like, all right, we're gonna really just kind of get us attention out there.
Baseball perspective, you smoking that good shit. If you think that they gonna get to 60 wins, you about your mind.
Maybe they think a boat race. Maybe they're like, all right, they added help. They added, Mickey Moniak, who was a guy that basically kind of brushed himself off and actually put up an actually really nice season for what he had been in MLB. Like I think that they probably just like This team is gonna bust out a lot of fucking hits and just do everything possible to boat race motherfuckers. And it's like, good luck with that thought.
Fish
Because
gotta
I can see,
fly, birds gotta swim. The Rockies ain't him, and they gonna lose 100+ games easily.
yeah, I think 50
Easily.
wins is more like it. 50 wins I could see. I don't see this team. They don't have they don't have a pitching rotate. Like they brought in Michael Lorenzen, brought in Jose Quintana, but that ain't enough. Kyle Freeland, okay, but maybe they go on the road. They rattle off. Maybe they get better road record and basically like really rattle off. But they ain't got shit. Maybe their whole thing is okay. We brought in Jose Quintana to basically be a sinker ball pitcher. That's gonna basically keep the balls down when in Colorado. Maybe that's their key. Maybe they're
The
like,
Rockies
if we
have,
get some guys that can basically pitch to like some heavy balls that's out there, then they can't
let
really
me see,
basically lift them.
because off the top of my head, I don't think the Rockies have had a winning record since like 17.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
Yeah, 17. Let me see if they had one in 16. Nope, losing record then. So, like I said, they haven't been relevant in damn near 10 years. It's damn near
Yeah.
10 years, Rob.
Yeah.
They don't do shit. Nothing. They're not doing anything. They're not win. They are the non-factor in this division. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you how much. I'm gonna go ahead. We can go to the next topic.
All
I
right.
don't even know why I even waste my time talking about the Rockets, man. Rock who?
Should have got high.
Yeah,
All right.
that's it.
So the next topic we got: does a Luis Arise make the Giants contenders?
No,
Now, based. Oh
I'm just saying they got a bigger problem over there.
damn.
He don't get me wrong,
you want to?
Luis
Yeah, but
is
so
a
you want to
great
talk about the
player.
bigger problem?
Oh yeah, it's the problem that we gave him from Boston. Okay.
You think he's gonna still be a problem over there?
Yes. 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 He's gonna be a problem. I'm
I
telling
don't.
you now, it's incoming.
Well, let's play devil's advocate. Maybe his production, because they got baseball perspectives basically have like perspective or estimated times that they're going to play at each position. So
Mm-hmm.
Rafael Devers, they're saying that he's going to play half the time at first base, about 50% at first base, and 40% as a DH. I don't know where that other 10% is going to be because they don't really have that
On the
on
bench,
here.
hopefully.
But but like yeah, and that might be what it is. But like yeah, I'm just I don't see it if basically they got Bryce Eldridge as to be their main first baseman. And they're saying Bryce Eldridge is only going to play there at first base 35% of the time. Why?
He beat the odds last year, and he played 163 games. Okay. Yes.
Wait.
Yep. He played
Oh.
163 games because he
Oh, yeah,
switched
yeah.
mid-season. Yes, he played 163 games. Okay, but I will say this: he hit 35 home runs. Cool. He had 109 RBIs. Okay. I think at some point this season he's going to complain again. Okay, he's going to complain, and this is going to be another issue. Okay, unless he's learned his lesson. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't see him. I don't see him being, that guy to help them. Do I think Luis Ariz helps them? Yes. They're not getting over the hump. To me, whenever I look at the division, right? The division breaks down to me is this. You have the Dodgers, who are the Thanos right now. They're
Right.
Thanos in that division, no matter how you cut this. That's Thanos. That's the one that you got to figure out how to get your Iron Man on and beat them, okay? Now, even though we just said San Diego has been lackluster, I think that they may be the most well equipped team to have to deal with the Dodgers. Remember, Dodgers won 93, San Diego won 90 last year. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
We may be calling them the most disappointing team, but this might be that Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler debate. Okay? If your ass wasn't here winning, I might be the best over there if you weren't so stacked up over here. Because if you think about it, the Dodgers are stacked out of their mind.
Right.
Okay, Clyde couldn't get it done he couldn't get it done in Portland.
Hmm.
Okay, but whenever he got it done, Mike wasn't around. If
Hmm.
this team wasn't around, San Diego probably could get it done. Because let's kind of flesh this out. If you think about it, let's look at the NL, and I'm gonna just do this real quick.
Yeah.
San Diego 190. Okay,
Hmm.
and I know what I'm about to say about to hurt our other Bramico feeling. Okay, let's say the Dodgers weren't what they were. Pirates ain't shit right now. Your team is suffering.
Hmm.
Cincinnati can't get it together because they don't have enough.
Hmm.
Chicago is 90 wins, but we always know that they're subject to choke at any minute. We know this, Rob. We know the Cubs are subject to choke at any minute. We just don't know when. Milwaukee is a team that's homegrown, but same thing. They put up the regular season numbers, but whenever we get to the playoffs, is where they hurt themselves the most. Okay, then let's jump. Washington ain't got enough. Atlanta's been suffering from injuries. They can't. They literally are the professional damn near Anthony Davis of the baseball world. Okay, they can't stay healthy somewhere. Okay,
Hmm.
Miami's trying to get it together. The Mets have Soto, but right now they're gonna be down Lindor. Okay, and
No,
I
Lindor
thought
just came
Lindor
back.
was hurt.
He had his first game back.
Oh, okay. So look,
Yeah.
he is back. We know that the Mets pitching is subject matter to fold deep in the playoffs. Okay, because peep them out. Look, whenever the Mets played, let me see, let me pull it up. Full schedule.
No, see, I mean, the Mets added Freddie Peralta. Clay, they got
Okay,
Clay
so
Holmes.
they did make a couple of upgrades. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot they did. We did talk about the Peralta trade. Okay, my bad, Mets. My bad. The Mets are a maybe. Okay, then who we looking at after that in the NL? That's just gonna take away from them
So when you're talking about this, you talking about the past years, or you talking about right now?
right now.
I mean, okay. So if we saying
If the Dodgers weren't what they were, we
you still,
could we could say that the Padres have a chance to win this, like a really good chance.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, yes. I mean, you got the Mets, you got the Phillies. I Yeah, you have teams that are there. Yes, you just don't have that juggernaut powerhouse that is the Dodgers that basically makes it happen.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that is true. That is true. But I think that when it comes to this team, it seems like they found a way to basically this, like you're saying, like, or the Cubs don't basically make it work out. The
yeah,
Cubs made it work out against them
yeah. They
last year.
did, which is
So
crazy. That I
so
even I was like,
uh,
how?
I mean the Cubs are not bad. Like the Cubs,
Yeah,
and
I know they're not
we
bad.
gonna talk
Yeah,
next week. It's gonna be our last for it because we've had a good time basically doing all the different divisions. But yeah, next week is gonna be the NL Central. We're gonna talk about the Cubs. And the Cubs only got better.
yes, they
Like
did.
the Cubs very much basically whatever they were last year, they got better and still gonna wait for Justin Steele to basically get better coming off of Tommy John. And so overall though, it's still to where the Padres have found a way to lose games,
Yes, and I
whether
have
the
no clue
Dodgers
why.
are there or not.
True, but all in all, going back to the beginning, do I think the Giants are contenders? No, I don't.
No.
The Giants don't have enough. It's that I'm fighting. You're fighting teams that are better than you, and you're fighting them at a pace of 90 game winners, and it's two of them in your division.
Well, I guess for me, it's that rotation. The rotation is not very strong. Logan Webb is nice at the top of that rotation, but Robbie Ray's cool. Adrian Houser's cool. Tyler Molly is cool. They don't have much outside of them. Ryan Walker, cool.
Yeah,
I mean, he's racked up a lot of saves. He is very much a MLB closer and a very much closer of that team. But it's like that pitching staff is not something that I think can really contend with those other teams. I think the lineup basically adding Luis Rise with Rafael Devers, with Patrick Bailey, with Matt Chapman, with Willie Adames, with Helio Ramos, with adding Harrison Bader, with Jung Ho Lee. You know, they do have, and whatever Bryce Eldridge is going to be, I think that is a nice enough lineup to compete with everyone else within MLB. However, that pitching staff is something that I don't know, and I can't say for sure is something that is going to basically be the other counterbalance to that team to say that they're going to actually compete with the rest of Major League Baseball.
you're gonna need people like Robbie Ray to come out there and have.
Show the hell out.
Yeah, he's gonna have to have a well beyond average season for them to be in the works of talking. But it's like I said, Rob. They fighting in a division that's so stacked. I think the best way to even put it out there, like my boy say, pontificate.
Pontificate.
To put this out there is they're fighting in the division for a spot against two people who last year won 90 games. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't San Francisco maybe if I had to pick one that was going to supplant San Diego, I think it would be Arizona.
Mhm.
Okay? Cuz Arizona has better pitching than San Francisco. I feel like I feel like if I had to put money on it, I feel like Gal and them going to come out there and win a game, win one of them odd games that I'm gonna really need. You know,
I get what you're saying. I mm,
I that's just how I look at it. I don't know what it is. I feel like put it to you like this: if the rotation came up and it was the game to supplant San Diego, and they just so happened to land on I don't know, let's say like a Robbie Ray and let's say like a Merrill Kelly or something.
okay.
I think Merrill Kelly might step up enough to get this game done versus Robbie Ray. Even though Merrill Kelly is the older pitcher.
Mm.
I think he might have one of them what's my boy from damn it. What's my boy from the rookie? He might come out there and have one of them type of games and get this done for me. I think that's what would happen with him. Maybe that's just my mind, but that's how I've always looked at it for them. And plus, whenever I look at like the Diamondbacks, look, Brandon Pioft is there. Eduardo Rodriguez is still there. Soroka is there. Merrill is there, even though he's older. Gallen is there. I think if I'm looking at those guys starting versus if I look across at San Francisco starters, I don't think San Francisco has enough in the starting pitching rotation to make it past like a San Diego.
I think it's a push, if
You
anything.
think it's a push?
But I think well for me, I don't see like if I'm looking at the number ones, I'm looking at Zach Gallen and I'm looking at Logan Webb. I put Logan Webb over Zach Gallen. And so I'll basically start it off with there. And then if I go through that list and go, shot for shot,
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Fat, Merrill Kelly, and say Eduardo Rodriguez with Robbie Ray, Adrian Hauser, and Tyler Molly, I'd rather go with what San Francisco has. I'd still push for that. But it's like if I basically am like, okay, if I'm looking at both sum of all parts,
Mm,
like I'd still probably say that they both kind of have the same conclusion, which is San Diego beats them both
I don't
because
know.
San Diego has the better rotation of both of them. Like when you got
Oh yeah,
Michael
San
King
Diego beats
and all
both
them
of them
niggas,
hands
like
down.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know.
I'm thinking if I had to pick one to supplant San Diego, it would have to be the Diamondbacks. I don't see the Giants getting that. It's just something about the Giants just doesn't click right with me right now.
I got it.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe they'll make a move during the season. And I'll be like, all right, that's the move.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
move.
I think San Francisco is a team that I would say is
I mean,
primed to make the move.
San Francisco had to make the right move, not San Diego. San Diego is on point right now. They
Yeah.
they just can't
But
win.
but to be honest, I think I think all these teams gonna basically be destined to make a move, and that's including the Diamondbacks. I mean, I think that
Yeah,
everybody's gonna have to basically look out and see like, okay, what are these other teams doing? What can we do to kind of close this gap with the Dodgers? Because the Dodgers, we're gonna talk about them, but like they're a team that I think can be beat because this is a team that is going for a three-peat this year, and
yeah.
this is a team that basically. Because did you have anything else for the Giants?
Nah, we can talk about the Dodgers right now.
Yeah. So
This is
this is
Thanos.
yeah. This is King Kong. This is King Kong. This is Thanos. This is
Yes,
Goro. This is everything right now. Like this is a team that baseball perspective saying that they're gonna win 104 games. That is still lofty because this is a team that
yes.
what they didn't win 104 games last year. I want to say they won
It won
90.
93. They won
Yeah,
93 last year.
yeah.
Yeah, it
So
was them.
like
Yeah, 93 90.
which they were supposed to win like according to Vegas, I think they were supposed to win like 110 games or some shit. So it's like, yeah, people get very lofty with the expectations of this team, but the thing about it is this team with Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Blake Snell, Tyler Glass now, Shohei Otani, who is basically their leadoff hitter as well, Roki Sasaki, Gavin Stone. They
Mm-hmm.
went and got Edwin Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
Training for whatever reason is still on this roster. Um, Bobby Miller also is still on this roster, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. But they went inside Evan Phillips. Still got Tanner Scott. I know you forgot that name too, but they still got Tanner Scott. But like, yeah, this team has a hellified still Ben Capricious, who I think that's how you say his name. Kasparis, who basically has been on this team. River Ryan, Emmett Shan, which I always think is Ed Sheehan. But either way, and that's before we get to their actual lineup, where again you got Shohei Otani,
Yep.
you got Mookie Betts still, you got Max Muncy, you got Teoscar Hernandez, you got Andy Pajes, you
Mm-hmm.
got Kyle, the newest addition, Kyle Tucker, Hassan Kim,
Ridiculous.
ridiculous. Got Hassan Kim, got Freddie Freeman, got Tommy Edman, got Will Smith, and Dalton Rush. Like you still got a crazy ass lineup, but again,
Okay, your mic went out. Oh, you're back. You still out. I don't know what happened.
this is what happened, people. I got too excited and knocked my mic out. But y'all hear me?
Yeah, we here.
Okay. So I got too excited and knocked my mic out. But yeah, this is a team because I talk with my hands, so bam. But no, this is a team that still has a ton of firepower, added more firepower.
Yep.
So like, I'm still Jesse Pinkman yelling at the fucking sky in Walter White's house, saying they can't keep getting away with this.
Oh,
All right,
it,
it
oh, you yelling, but they keep
that
getting away with it.
and that's the thing because they this is still like, and I know you said, hey, they've been flexing out their checkbooks. This is still one of the best farm systems in all of baseball. Like that's the thing about this team. It's not just that they are a team that wins a lot of like games because they basically buy a lot of players. They still got like, and I'm looking it up right now. Like they still got five players as far as the top 100 according to MLB.com. top five players within the top 100 prospects in all of baseball, led off by uh, Jesus DePaula, like the Paula, who's an outfielder for them, who's not basically supposed to get like none of them are supposed to basically come up this year. Like DePaula, Zaire Hope, like they're all supposed to basically get to the majors in 2027. Because they're all in like their early 20, like 20. Like this team basically has great scouting, great infrastructure, great team, like and they got money and they spend, but from what Andrew Freeman, their GM, has basically said in the past, they allocate all their money to creators. They don't like it's not as if like they basically only plan their budget. Like he said that like teams basically only using 30% of their budget for acquisitions, they go 70. So it's not like they just get money, but they also use a lot of their money
Yes, they are.
gather talent like a Kyle Tucker or an Edwin Diaz. Like they basically do what they can to make this shit rock. So I think they'll three-peat? Fuck it, why not? Like I'll basically it's like I keep saying they can't keep getting away with this, but I also said last year they wasn't gonna get away with it. And then they had the best World Series I ever seen. And so do I keep think they'll get away with this? Yes. Because why not? You know what? Let's we started out with this whole podcast talking about enjoying things. Let's enjoy the absolute domination of Dodgers. I basically here to support my new baseball overlords, the Los Angeles baseball Dodgers.
And they're
Okay?
going to get away with it.
They're going to get away with it. They're going to get it because they have the talent, they got the money, they got everything that basically you could want. And they just gonna keep on doing it because they can. And even though I said in the past that like, the Mets basically have the best chance to win them and can overtake the Dodgers, fuck that guy. It's just basically he's gone now. The Dodgers are winning it all. I don't care. Put it on wax. Boom. It's coming out. Dodgers are winning it all this year. I'm gonna go out on a limb and saying the Dodgers are gonna be the first team to three-peat since Yankees of what early 2000s, the late 90s, early 2000s. This team is going three-peat. Let's go.
And let me tell you something. The Dodgers probably are going to win it again. There's nothing that. Look, I've said it before. You can yell all you want at the sky because their accounting department in front office is doing the jig every time they get up because they know that they about to win with this. That look, their front office, farm system, how they allocate money needs to be studied amongst everyone. You want to win, you're going to have to spend, and then you're going to have to do everything else. You have to play. Could this just be the karma of them playing the game right in every way? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe this is what it is. Maybe what we look at is spending their checkbook and stuff. Maybe this is just the right way to be financially straight with the people on your team. Maybe that's what this is, Rob. Maybe that's the part that we're not seeing. Maybe we look at it as them using their wallet and they just look at it as, hey, I have the funds. I'm going to allocate this the right way. Maybe that's all it is. Maybe we looking at maybe our glasses ain't on right. Maybe we got a little haterism
No,
in our
no,
glasses.
we see it. We see it for what it is. We just see that these other teams being cheap, and that's and you know what, that might be what it is. Is like they're like these other teams are like, you know what, we're gonna basically be cheap because we're gonna be cheap because we want to be cheap, and that's what we're gonna be cheap for. And that's because we talked about it. We've had it on the show a bunch of times. You got to be in the top 10 to spend in spending to basically win a World Series. Not saying you got to, but the last umpteenth World Series champions have basically been in the top 10. They ain't all been first. Like the Dodgers is generally like the last couple of years have been the ones actually the Dodgers weren't first. I think the year before it was the Mets. But it's like you got to be in the top 10. You have to be in the top 10. And the
Yeah.
Dodgers year after year are going to be in the top 10 in spending and they're going to basically win championships because they not just spend, but they spend smart. And they got a lot of luck on this side because when it came to that Dodgers World Series last year, it was like those Jays games. Granted, it was talent because it was talent, but Miguel Rojas hitting his first world home run, I think, of the season, or not of the season, but like of the playoffs in the ninth inning, to get the fucking Dodgers ahead, and then basically having like what was it? Was it Justin Dean that basically had the catch, or no, Kike Hernandez knocking over Justin Dean to get to the catch, or whatever it was. Oh no, Justin Dean basically called for throwing up his hands and calling a ground rule double. Like those kind of things happening in games basically made help get the Dodgers over the edge. But it's just like, yeah, man, that they've had a lot of luck.
But it's been the right shit. It's been the right shit. Now, let's jump off of the Dodgers and let's jump into the World Baseball Classic. Okay. I see that you have a topic here that's kind of makes sense. That DR is the U.S.'s Soviet Union hockey team when it comes to the World Baseball Classic. I gotta agree. I gotta agree. I gotta agree. I gotta agree. That Dominican Republican team is. Whew,
Yeah,
I think I read the thing that said 15 of them are top. I think it's something ridiculous like I think it was like 15 of them are like top 100 or top 50 at the time. It's something crazy, but it's like had pretty much all most of the roster is somebody that's high in the MLB right now. And I was like, oh my god, I was like this. It's like we are facing the right.
so they lead all the WBC and OPS,
Mm-hmm.
lead all in slugging, lead all in on base percentage, lead all in average, not stolen bases or anything like that. Lead all in home runs, um, lead in hits. Like this team basically is been a fucking juggernaut. Lead in ERA, you know, like this team has been an absolute juggernaut throughout the World Baseball Classic. Granted, like the team that I thought outside of basically the USA that would win it all, Japan, that's lost to Venezuela. Congrats to Venezuela, who is my dark horse pick this year. But yeah, like this Dominican Republic team is absolutely dominant. And granted, it's like yes, haven't had the continued success, of course, because you know they didn't win it the last go round. That was Japan. But
Mm-hmm.
as far as a dominant team that the U.S. has to overcome tonight at 8 o'clock, um, this is as close to like the Soviets of the 1980s Olympics hockey team, like that we've had to at least go against. So it's kind of crazy that it is going to be like that, though. It's like it's if we win this game, it is not going to be the same equivalent, but it's going to be as close to a baseball equivalent as we gonna have. Whereas we got no chance really. Like this team is too good. I just saw that they're gonna be sitting Bregman and Kyle Raleigh tonight. Like this team, for what it is just too good, and we don't have the same firepower they do. So I'm gonna rattle off what like. Granted, y'all might not know a lot of these names because y'all might be new to baseball and everything like that, but I'm gonna rattle off some of these names again. Vlad Guerrero Jr.,
Mm-hmm.
Manny Machado,
Mm-hmm.
who you was gonna talk about earlier, Carlos
Mm-hmm.
Santana, Junior Caminero, Ketel Marte, O'Neal Cruz, Julio Rodriguez, Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis Jr. Like these are some these are perennial all stars. Like these are guys that are basically like, if not the top players at their given position, one of like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is one of the best first basemen. Junior Caminero is about to be one of the best third basemen, along with Manny Machado, who was a perennial best third baseman. Uh, Ketel Marte, perennial top second baseman. Julio Rodriguez, at least defensively, top center fielder. Juan Soto, one of the best hitters in all of baseball, one of the best right fielders. These are guys that are crazy, and that's not counting the fucking pitching staff where you got Christopher Sanchez, who pitched the
Mm-hmm.
other night, was dominant. You got Sarah Anthony Dominguez, who, coming in the game. Camilo Doval, Carlos Estevez. These are guys that are basically premier relievers. Sandy Alcantara. Like these are guys that, and that's not even talk about Abner Uribe. These are guys that are like some of the best pitching talent in all of baseball. We don't have that. We not to that extent. Like we have talent on our team. Like when you talk about, of course, Paul Skeens, and you talk about, Aaron Judge, two guys that are basically the reigning, defending, undisputed Cy Young and MVP of their given league, respectively. And we got young talent with Pete Crow Armstrong, Bobby Witt Jr., who was a perennial MVP candidate. But that ain't the DR team. That ain't what the DR has. We ain't got it like that.
So look, we still got it pretty good. So Alden Gonzalez summed it up like this. In perspective, between these two starting lineups, 52 All-Star games, 32 Silver Sluggers, 11 Gold Gloves, 5 MVPs, all of the players are pretty much still in their prime. 18 of those players, 17 have already cracked the MLB top 100 ranks. 15 fell within top 50, and none of this even accounts arguably for the pitching. Okay, we not even accounting for the pitching. That's just everything else. Okay, so just fathom that's the game that we're about to watch tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, we have a chance? Yes. Do we have a good chance? No. I don't think this DR team is a powerhouse, and I think,
So
well,
look,
we might get the doors blown
I,
off.
I'm
I
going.
don't even know.
You know what, Robert? I'm not going out like that. I'm not going out like that. We have Paul Skeens on the mound tonight. Okay, I
Going
think
against Luis Severino, who we will have a chance against.
so. Look, that's what I'm saying. We got a chance against Severino. I don't know how good their chance is against Paul. I feel like tonight could be the legacy game for Paul Skeens. I'm gonna say this: if he walks away from this game with, let's say, 5 to 6 innings pitched, 1 run or less, and 7+ strikeouts, 8+ strikeouts, and we get this win tonight, and he's 7, 8 strikeouts strong, low hits, low earned runs, and we win this. This is the beginning of his legacy game right here. He's had some great games in him, but this is the major legacy game, especially if we pull out and we win this thing.
Yeah, because here's who we got to go against tonight, because we haven't put out our lineup yet. Tatis Jr., Ketel Marte, Soto, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Manny Machado, Junior Caminero, Julio Rodriguez, Austin Wells, and Geraldo Perdomo. So basically, he's got like two lefties, two switches, and mostly righties. So that is the chance that we do have. Like we gonna basically have a good matchup battle with that, but that's a hell of a murderous role. And you got to basically say he's got a 75 pitch limit. So depending on if basically we can get quick at bats out of these guys, that's what's gonna make the difference. But to be honest, it's like that's a hell of a murderous role. And even after basically you get past him, whatever our bullpen gonna look like, I don't know, dog.
I think we still got a shot. We still got a shot. Still got a shot.
Yeah, we got a shot. No, no, no. We have a shot. But, you know, there's certain people that have shots that don't make them. We I think Swaggy P had a shot, but that
It
shit
was,
clinked, and
yeah,
he was
yeah.
basically turning around thinking that he made it. We have a shot. It ain't a good one, but we have a shot.
It is what it is with that one. But we got one more thing for you guys before we leave out. And strippers are people that deserve respect, but not according to the NBA. NBA, you're wrong. Go ahead and tell them wrong.
So if y'all have not known and y'all didn't hear about it, I don't know how it was under that rock, but essentially the NBA pulled the Magic City promotion in Atlanta away from the Hawks and basically told them not to do it. They were going to basically the Atlanta Hawks were going to be playing the Orlando Magic, and they were going to have a Magic City night that was going to talk about Magic City, the strip club, but not necessarily have strippers, not have any kind of exotic dances, but really just identify it as a fixture within the community, which it is within the Atlanta community. And so they were going to have wings, they were going to have a Ti concert, and basically just have like kind of just talking about Magic City, not really anything to highlight any strippers or like maybe have some in the crowd, whatever. But just talk. But that was it. Wasn't much to it, But the NBA basically said no. They're caring about this. They said the sponsors were a big deal. They said that basically, uh, it wasn't the best. It was the right call to end it. After talking to them, it's total bullshit.
Yes.
Because the thing about it is, they basically kept it as clean as possible. They didn't like have any shit. They were gonna serve wings. They're gonna serve Magic City wings. Which look, the best lemon pepper wings I ever had was at Blue Flame Strip Club. Shout out to Blue Flame in Atlanta. Best lemon pepper wings I ever had. I haven't had lemon pepper wings since because they don't compare to what they have at Blue Flame. But that's the thing. Like there's some wing connoisseur. Like people go to like when Lou Williams got in trouble because he was attending a funeral. He went to Magic City to get some
Yeah.
wings.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't
Lemon
like
pepper Lou.
yeah, yeah, sweet Lou. But like, but that was the thing. It was like here's this place that is a place that people know about. It's not like a secret. People, it's not like Magic City is like this like tucked off place that nobody really has ever heard of, and it's always been in like music videos and talked about whatever. Like, but it ain't like some salacious thing to basically say like, oh well, we're gonna talk about it because. And I got in arguments about, or I got in discussions about it, Blue Sky about it, and I don't think there's any reason to go puritanical here. Like, just saying that, okay, well, you can't say this is a family friendly environment and you're talking about a strip club. Strippers have families.
Yes, they do.
Strip people, the owner of strip club probably has a family. Like, these people aren't pariahs. These people aren't people that you can't just be like, they got to be tucked off into a pocket of society that you have to have shame about. These are people that do a business, have a service that people partake in. Are there basically elements that have been untowards at certain times? Yes, but that you can say that for every single industry. You got everybody taking say money from whoever. I won't say anybody specific, but you got major corporations that have things that they've done in the past that were not good to a certain community or a set of communities that basically now are basically being highlighted because they paid a lot of money to put their name on something. So if it's gonna be to where it's like you're taking this night away from Magic City or taking this night away from the people that work at Magic City, it's like why are you basically doing that? And I'm not a big whataboutism person. I'll try not to be. But why are you taking this night away from them and not taking it away from these other people? Because you open yourself up for those kind of things. Like yes, am I going to take my children to Magic City? No, not at all. I'm never going to do that. But the fact of the matter is, if I am basically saying that, hey, if I see somebody say, hey, I work at Magic City, I'm not going to be like, well, you can't be around my children. You can't, do any like. No, they're a person. They deserve my respect. They're not somebody that's like, oh, this is scummy. Oh, I can't. No, like these are people that deserve respect and deserve to basically be like, all right, yeah, this is a night that is talking about my place of business.
This is true.
Okay. I ain't saying they gotta have strippers. I ain't saying they gotta have anything like that because yeah, not everybody is with that. But the fact of the matter is this is a place that has human beings that work at it that deserve respect. Okay. It's not something that's like they shouldn't be highlighted in any way, or this place that is a cultural institution shouldn't be highlighted in any way. We can't be, oh, we're high and mighty and only talking about the places that we hold dear or think that they are not, the up and up or whatever. No, man, we do that. We are willing to basically turn our blind eye to a lot of stuff that we should, and basically saying because so and so paid a good amount of money to basically be there. That's not cool, man. Like I think the NBA deserves a level of shame and deserves a level of, hey man, look, y'all didn't have to do this, especially because this is a
Yeah,
game between the Magic and the Hawks. It ain't like everybody. It wasn't a nationally televised game, or chances are it wasn't. So it's not something that needed this kind of issue.
I think that they blew. I think that they blew it. This could have been a great thing. I feel like it
Yeah,
could have been a great thing.
yeah.
I
Like
think it could have been a
it's.
great thing.
I think they made it a lot deeper than what it needed to be, and I think they opened themselves to whataboutisms more than if they would have just basically let the fucking night go through. I don't because a lot of people were either just like okay, or just like I want that hoodie. So they could have just let it fly. These are adults. Mostly adults gonna be at this game. It ain't nobody really tripping on Magic City like that, man. Like
Yeah,
that's bullshit.
I wouldn't trip on Magic City. You know, Magic City gets love from everybody. At least in my opinion, they should. NBA, you messed up. You got Hennessy advertisements on the jersey, but you want
So
to do Magic City though.
so many different like alcohol providers, and you playing shots. I ain't talking about milk. Like you like,
Damn
and I
sure
ain't
wasn't
really,
talking about milk.
and that song wasn't talking about basketball. You know, like
Damn sure wasn't.
so so if you want to go family friendly, I think we passed that because like somebody pointed out, you got these women that are wearing I don't say scantily clad, they ain't really scantily clad, but like they gyrating and doing all these kind of moves and everything like that during all these time stoppages. It's like, yeah, it's okay. We're grown. We can explain things. We could talk about how hey, they can do that and they should be respected to do that.
Yes, this shit. But what else going out about Magic City Mondays, Rob? Anything else you want to say before we get about it?
Nah, man. Good night, Canada. Good night, Taylor Swift. Respect people, give people their respect, and like just don't be an asshole, dog. Just
Yeah,
don't be an asshole.
just don't be an asshole.
And respect Bam. He got 83.
You can respect the 83. You respect Bam. Respect that man. He's a player. He's a good player. All star. He got that 83. Now we got to mention. But all in all, remember, Brumigos Podcast, two different pages, the Brumigos Podcast and the Brumigos Podcast Live, which is here where you are right now if you're tuning in. Remember, like, subscribe, comment. We have a bunch of clips constantly being pushed out. You guys have a great day. We'll see you guys later. Tune into the baseball classic tonight, 7 o'clock. Have a great time. Crack a cold one. Sit down with your kids. Enjoy your time. Time is precious to everybody. And we're about to get up off of y'all